Welcome to WYCD Wicked. That stands for What You Can Do. It's your old pal Jake, and what effing day is it? My gosh. Monday. Monday it is. I love the Pinkerbells doing the Doug and Kodiak emojis. That makes me very happy. We have a couple of things to talk about. Thing number one, how you can run for office. Thing number two, what you should do with your personal data. Um, thing number three is why I've chosen to streak today. I don't know. Just felt like doing a basically nude stream. So here we are. Uh, you son of a bitch. Hey, AC. Good to see you, my friend. So let's just start with running for office on account of I got it all set up. Jumping right in. Well, if we intend to make anything out of what's left of this world, we're going to need to be ready to run for office at the higher level within a couple of years. Ideally within 2 years, and no later than 4 years. We need a roster of people who are not blatantly corrupt, because that's basically all we got right now. Democrats, Republicans, doesn't matter. We have insufficient leadership, which means we need new ones, which means we have to start from scratch. Okay. Well, how do you do that? Well, you start small. You start with a job that's meant to be entry level holding office. You start with your town. And from there, from these local positions, which are going to be opening up at random all over the country, you can also protect the people around you from a tyrannical administration which is on its way. So let's look at how you do that. This is runforsomething.net, and it is a very useful tool. It has guides for running for office, which we're gonna go over. Throw everything you know about politics out the window. You're qualified to run for local office. We're here to help. Oofa doofa. Why is this not showing me? Oh no. Wait, I think I can. There we go. Well, shoot. Give me a further moment here. Where's the guide? Ah. Oh, it's killing me. All right, we're not using this system anymore. Hold up. Gangsters, we're going back. Stop recording. Scroll down, deleting that. I'm going to share this through StreamYard so I can actually pull up the guide for y'all to see. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. All right, so here's the candidate resources page. This is what I get for changing things right before it started. All right, stand by again, gang. Okay. Presenting, sharing screen. All right. Okay. So here's a guide for setting up, for starting from absolute scratch for setting up a campaign. I want to point out you don't necessarily have to be the candidate to get benefit out of this. This will benefit you also if you want to help a friend run for office. If you're the D&D party and you're not necessarily the face, you want them to be that. Within here, you still see what you need in order to have a successful campaign. And this is the same if it's city clerk or if it's mayor of the whole town. So, you appoint somebody to keep track of the money for your campaign. They're going to be the person who is going to sign and file all the documentation involving money, deposit receipts in the committee's designated bank within 10 days of receiving them, authorize expenditures or appoint someone else orally or in writing to authorize expenditures. Basically, if you have a campaign and you're collecting money for at the level we're talking about, it'll be printing flyers, maybe buying Facebook ads for a targeted area, things like that. Someone's got to have to be in charge of what is campaign money, who is paying for these things. Because even if you're like, I'll just pay for it myself. What is it? $200? I'll pay for it myself. That still counts as a contribution towards a campaign. Now the candidate can do it themselves, but you can't just have that be a mystery expense. You've got to keep track of it. That's the treasurer's job. Monitor contributions, ensuring they comply with legal limits and prohibitions, and then of course keep records of receipts and disbursements for 3 years. Depending on your locality, the candidate may choose to act as their own treasurer. Confirm with your local board of elections to confirm the responsibilities of the campaign treasurer. It's very likely that you will be at a local at the this level of local election. It's very likely you'll be absolutely everything. Treasurer ain't all that exists though. So let's jump out of this, jump back in here. Here's the beginner's guide. So here's how you choose what you want to run for. This is for you right now in this very moment. This is how you choose what's pulling you towards office. You start by asking yourself a very basic question: what problem do you want to solve? A few examples. Obviously, there are thousands of reasons to run, but these are all enough of a reason to get started. Safely reopening schools and businesses during COVID 19, housing affordability and access, open carry and gun registration laws. Or, actually having some. Access to affordable health care, funding of police programs, or funding of programs instead of police, school funding for the arts, voting restrictions in your state laws around reproductive rights, zoning laws in your city, etc., 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 etc. Think about how you would like government to work. And where you find it lacking, understand that you could be the answer. Do a little research. For example, challenging a popular and well-loved member of the city council who has been in office for 12 years may be much harder than running for a seat on the school board, which is vacant due to a member retiring. We're not saying that you should avoid hard elections. We're saying it is something to take into consideration. Finding what office is right for you may also depend on your background. Are you an educator that wants to be on the school board or an expert in a field that uniquely qualifies you to run for that office? These and other factors can help you decide by doing some research. Here are some factors you should assess, although they stress none are disqualifying. Which local offices are on the ballot in the upcoming cycle? Uh, this also they include a helpful link to runforwhat.net. You fill out your address and email, and it tells you what you can run for. Gang, that's also going to be incredibly important. For other election dates beyond the upcoming election cycle, check your state on Ballotopedia to find out how long election terms last and discover which offices will be open. Look at your state, county, local government's Board of Election page. There is no one simple way to find this information. It takes a bit of internet sleuthing or ask your elected officials. It's not hard to find. You literally type in your county's name and then board, and you should be able to find it. Which of those offices appeal to you or fit your background in a unique way? In other words, does it make you more qualified for the position? Not sure what a particular office does? Wikipedia can help, or visit your local government webpage. I'll toss in another one. This is all good information. I'll toss in another one. Attend one of their public meetings. These places, as part of an act which thankfully still exists, are required to allow the public in on their deliberations for the most part. Go listen to them. It'll be, boring as sin, but good to know. It's a hell of a lot less boring when you're involved yourself and you're actually making the decisions, and when you are viewing it as somebody who may be involved soon. It changes the context in which you're hearing about things like approving a budget to repair a bridge or seeking out a contractor quote to repair a bridge. This goes on. It's a whole guide. This is a multi-chapter booklet on running for office. First time I've ever seen Jake in a t-shirt, and it may be the last. No, that's I will update these descriptions. In fact, right now, I'll update these descriptions with a better link than I had. But there you have it, and understand that you are not necessarily going to be the one that runs. It may be that you say, you know what? I'm not the one who should be in charge. I'm not a good face for this thing. That's fine. That's fine. In that case, you should be the person looking for the person that's going to run. You should say, I'm going to be part of a campaign running for office. We need a progressive in this town. I will make it my business to find like-minded individuals, and we're going to make one of them the mayor or a city councilor or whatever. And I will be the person that does treasurer, or I'll be the person who is in charge of filing the paperwork for this person. I'll be their campaign advisor. Look through that guide. Get familiar with everything a candidate will need. Decide which of that you're capable of doing. Maybe it's all of it. Maybe it's just some things. Get together a group that is collectively able to do all of it, and decide which of you is going to be the candidate, and then go get it done. And you know what? if you're looking at something like if you're looking at something like the city council, and you have a generally unpopular city council. Say, for example, you discover in your research here on your own town that your city council as a whole made a couple of really unpopular decisions. And you've already got a team together who's going to run for something in your town. You might decide multiple people on this team can run for seats on the city council. Let's do it. We've already got the infrastructure for one. It's the same for all. Let's form a voting block. Look through the guides. I've just updated the description with a better link than the one I was initially using. Oh, Latino Mufune, coming in from the letter hack. Good to see you. Good to see you. Anti-corporatist, I think because of my criminal record, the only office I can run for is president. Heyo. Yeah, but you can be on any team you want. You could help people run for office. You can still be a kingmaker in your town. It's there. The guide is there if you want it. I'm going to find a more concise way to present this information. It shouldn't take 17 minutes to present that guide. I'm working on it. And I'm also moving on. Hey, gang, let's be real. We got a totalitarian, maybe not totalitarian, because I'm not really sure I know what that means. Certainly an authoritarian government coming in. Project 2025 is going to effing hurt. We don't need to dwell on it, but it's not going to be good. One major element that has been underappreciated in this election season is how horrible the J.D. Vance and Peter Thiel association really is. As well as Elon Musk. The tech oligarchs in this dystopia in which we live, they are going to be awful free with your data. They're going to have no respect for your information, for people's well-being, for people's rights. And that's going to collide rather horrifically with a theocracy, which targets women first and foremost. You have a little less than 3 months to prepare. Here's how you do it. Step 1. If you have apps that track your body's health, and first and foremost, this includes anything that tracks your menstruation, delete them. Utterly delete them off your phone. Because that information could get subpoenaed. Doesn't matter if it's a reasonable subpoena. It doesn't matter if it is something courts in the past would have not allowed. We simply can't trust these courts. They're going to be Trump appointees. Trump appointed a record number of judges, and the court system in the United States, it was already an iffy thing. Now, delete the apps. Make sure the information does not exist. Yeah. Snixabia, if there are digital records from your doctor too, my chart. Maybe. And that's a question you'll have to ask yourself as far as is the convenience of having that medical information available more important to you. And it may be. There may be a good reason to have that around. The other stuff, though, the convenience type apps, I would recommend at the very least, considering that they may be used against you. Now, On a related note, there will be no restraint of the oligarchy. There will be no restraint of the behavior of capitalism, or rather of capitalists in the pursuit of capitalism. Case and point. There was a lot of buildup. And point, I have to share this again. Present. Share screen, and right channel. Case in point. There we go. 23andMe faces an uncertain future. Here's how to delete your DNA data. I'll give you a spoiler. You can't really. 23andMe prided itself on being a company that wasn't going to sell your data to other folks. It was going to keep it private. Or rather, when it sold your data, it was only going to be to like medical research places. But otherwise, it was going to keep your data private, except 23andMe is going out of business. So what's going to happen? Well, they are selling your data in the form of their whole company to a new company. Now that new company, they're going to say, we've just made a very expensive acquisition and we need to get paid for it. What assets were here that were not used? Oh, look at that. Look at that. Millions upon millions of people's personal data about themselves and their families that haven't been sold. We made no such promise to these customers, so we're going to sell it because we have the right to. And if we don't have the right, who's going to stop us? Oh, the Trump administration? No. No, they are not. So, 23andMe, a genetic testing and ancestry tracing company, collects the most personal kind of data from its customers, their DNA. Now, after a data breach in late 2023 and a full board resignation, the company faces an uncertain future, and many customers believe their genetic information they once willingly handed over could be vulnerable. CEO and, oh boy, Wojcicki has also previously said she'd consider a potential takeover of the company, which has raised concerns among customers about what would happen to their data in the event of a sale. Wojcicki later clarified she is not considering third-party takeover proposals and that she intends to take the company private, and also expressed her strong commitment to customer privacy and pledged to maintain our current privacy policy, including following the intended completion of the acquisition she is pursuing. Whoa. 23andMe said in a statement to CBS Money Watch. In a social media post on X earlier this month, some person, director of cybersecurity at some fucking company, suggested that 23andMe account holders take steps to delete data held by the company. If you have a 23andMe account, today is a good day to log in and request the deletion of your data, she wrote. Other cybersecurity experts reinforce that users' data is listen to this tricky wording, is no more vulnerable today in the midst of company turmoil. But that 23andMe customers should review its privacy policies and consider how and with whom they want to share their data. In other words, it's every bit as vulnerable today will be tomorrow. It's another way to phrase that. And that you should have read the contract. That's what they had to say. Okay. So here's what this means. It means that if they decide to sell, your data will be sold right along with it. It will be part of what gives that company value in the sale. It also means you can, if you've done these tests and you're uncomfortable with your data being bought up by some psychopath, like, for example, if they start saying, everybody of Haitian descent is going to be on a list now. Just a list of people we follow. We're just going to let local police know when you move from town to town. That's all we want to know is where you live so we can tell local police where you are. Where, anybody from Palestine, anybody with, family there, we don't like the sympathies that they're going to have. And so we're going to put you on a list. And just in case, when we hear that there's protests going on, we're just going to send the sheriff by your house and make sure you're not part of it. Delete it. You can go in there now, if you're a 23andMe customer, and request they delete your data. If for no other reason than to make the company less valuable in an upcoming sale. Now, that said, they might deny your request. They don't have to do it, basically. But they might. So get in early, get your data deleted. We have to start protecting ourselves from the oligarchy. There's many different ways you can protect yourself. Say you're talking about a home break-in. You could do active measures like getting a vicious guard dog. Or you could do passive measures like putting up a sign that says, warning, vicious guard dog. You could buy a gun. That's an active measure you could take. Or passive measure, lock your doors. Just have no problem to begin with. Lock your doors. This deleting your data, that's the locking your doors of this thing. Don't make it easy for them to do the kind of corrupt things we have no reason not to anticipate. Maybe they'll be so incompetent, so utterly incompetent, because it looks like it's going to be Republicans with the trifecta, literally a nightmare scenario. Maybe they will be so incompetent that they spend most of the time fighting each other and embarrassing themselves on a national stage. And I'll look forward to doing coverage of that stuff in front of y'all. I really will. But that's not something you plan for. You plan for the worst. So my advice to you, you want to be active? You go run for office. You help somebody you care about. Run for office. You follow the guides in the description and you go get it. If you want passive protection, which is frankly more reliable, get your data off places it doesn't need to be. Get your data off 23andMe. It's neat that you're 2% Welsh. Now you know. Go delete that. Oh, it's helpful to know that you need to buy tampons by next Tuesday. Write it in a calendar. Don't use an app for that anymore. Prepare for these folks. Son of a gun. Musical interlude brought to you by What You Can Do. Public utility. Look, if you put up a sign saying a vicious dog lives here, that's on them. But yes, you can just say guard dog. That's probably better. No need to characterize it. Lanzetta, thank you so much. I hope so. Ooh, public utility. The company owns your Ring camera data too. Absolutely. And at this point in our technological development, there's no reason you need a company that puts its filthy fingers into your data. There's lots of services that do the same thing that Ring does. They're just not that brand name. They don't have that recognition, but they don't own your footage. Ooga chaka, ooga, ooga, ooga chaka, ooga, ooga. I can't stop this feeling deep inside of me. Girl, you just don't realize what you do to me when you hold me in your arms so tight. You let me know everything's all right. I wish I thought of that song when you first wrote that. I didn't. Oh my god, I don't even follow this at all. You're the wicked dungeon master. Have you considered running for office? Ha! Jake is my new singer. I definitely know I cannot sing as well as you could play the guitar. Um, do we know a dungeon master in here for real? I'd love to play some D&D. Okay, gang, and now is just the goofing around portion of the show. I don't remember the Y files. I know somebody recommended it. I saw an episode and it didn't click with me for what reason. I might check it out again. I really want to start first of all, just personally, just for my sanity, I want to start doing some goofy, non-political related content, but it is part of a political master plan. What did I the number one lesson I learned from this last election cycle? We, the progressive left, don't have any reach at all. Our ideas, our way of communicating, it does not work with the normies. We gotta just get into stuff. All of us that have hobbies, fucking Donald James X, bada boom, bada boom, yes sir. And he plays the guitar. We gotta, we got to get content creators, yes, but us just generally need to go mix it up with people that have no knowledge about politics. Because shortly, yes, that's it. Also, we also need to have more fun. Um, in fact, I'm going to loop around to my original point. But yeah, and another thing, something we were talking about the other night, we need to give people something to look forward to because every day for the next 4 years is going to be just a little bit shitty on top of our already shitty lives. Uh, brought to us by 4 decades of shitty politics. So we definitely need to give people stuff to look forward to. But also, what were the searches like the top searches on Google after the election? It was stuff like what is a tariff? After the election. What's a tariff? It was Trump criminal record. It was all stuff that we simply you shouldn't see the day after the election. So I don't know what normal people do. This is what I do all day, basically. We got to get involved. We just got to get involved with normal people. This is great stuff, Jake. Well, thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, Del Martinez. Let me go see that first part. Pretend for a moment that I'm not terribly bright. Uh, what is the context of 2026 House races? Because I would be interested. Also, AC, I would love to play some third edition rules, some 3.5, and I would absolutely. I've never actually played second edition AD&D. I think that's back when we're talking like Thaco and what have you. I'd be down for that. Y'all want to play a game? We'll do it. Yeah, yeah. Why not? I would say light on the politics and heavy on the fun, whatever you do. From here on out, we don't need people. The more I think about this, the more I realize we don't need people sold on the details of like a Marxist view of this would be like, nah, man, real basic stuff. Real basic stuff. Like what do Republicans tend to do? They give tax breaks to the rich. They don't give a fuck about human beings. They f over the environment consistently. They are a party full of sexual assaulters and bigots. And it's not like we have to say that with like, angry passion. These are just facts. These are just facts. What are the Democrats? They are a center right political party. They do not represent the left wing ideology at all. Um, People just need a basic, real basic understanding of what the playing field is, of cause and effect, so that they can look at these things and understand. And hopefully, because that's so basic, we can find ways to create content that is able to teach those lessons while also getting its version of whatever the skibidi toilet is. Something memeable, for sake. Heavy, heavy on the fun. Absolutely. Just be cool, Daddy-O. Indeed. Yes. Yes, it has. And it's been done with politics before. I think I actually here's a little secret. I have never dug Critical Role, but I love the heck out of Dimension 20. Latino Mufune, ask Republicans, how does it help the working class to force working people to pay for tax breaks for elites? Yeah. Yeah, another what? Lanzetta, I haven't played D&D since I was 10 back in the early 90s. Is it more or less the same game? I mean, yeah. Everything's been streamlined. It's a lot less mathy now, but it is basically the same from what I've seen. Jake has nothing between suit and tie and 50s greaser. Hold on. We'll be back in a moment. Hey, maybe the return of Diversity Squad? Yeah, wait. One sec. Ugh. Wow, I really don't. Yeah, I thought I still had a switchblade comb, but apparently I threw that out. That would have been amazing though. True. That was proposed. Del Martinez. Oh no, D&D. I feel out of my element. Well, look, we're taking pinches. I think whatever folks do, we should find ways to approach this stuff from the idea that where we lacked was culture. It's a culture war. So start with culture. And truth be told, by the way, I would love to just get not even D&D, but just get like one of those free 2-page web RPGs and play a bunch of different kinds of those. Not even the same thing, not even the same people every week. Just have like an open D&D or whatever tabletop RPG thing. Yes, right? That was amazing. But it doesn't have to be just tabletop games. It can be music. It can be talking about movies, which other people have done. It can be whatever. As long as we are pulling people in from other communities and finding a way to make it about progressive politics. Play Root. Root. Tabletop game. By the way, that was the show, folks. If you were Oh, that's so weird. I was just looking at Redwall recently. I was just remembering that that series existed. This is what Pink's talking about. A game of woodland might and right. F yeah. F yeah. I'd be interested. That's the show, is what I was saying. It's two things. Enjoy, and the rest of this is going to be goofing off with friends, with y'all. Ooh, Pinky has some friends who made a tabletop RPG. I'll let you in on a secret. So did I once upon a time because I was working for a network that was nervous about. I wanted to try like making money off doing it. It failed miserably, but the network that I was working for didn't want to do the show if we were going to be at all liable to Wizards of the Coast. And so I was like, that's fine. We'll just do a free one. And I made one. Oh, that's the one. Okay, hell yeah. Well, Pinky, in honor of your friends, assuming it's free. Oh God. All right, we're not gonna do this because I have to buy it, but for $60. But um, if oh, this is literally tabletop with this is literally tabletop with like a board and stuff. Oh, fair enough. Another time, I'll keep it in mind. It is adorable. Parcheesi, anyone? Hell, we could do COD. Yeah, COD Warzone, absolutely, and talk about like the fact that there's no weapons of mass destruction or whatever the. Yeah, I like that. I like that. I like that. Oh my cripes! What the? What the? Hold on. Uh, okay. I'm sorry. I just saw a message from the letter hack in Discord. Letter hack, yes, you have my blessing, particularly if I was wrong. Uh, that'll be good content, and I love it. So yes, 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 yes. RE the LC thing. Yeah, that's how I like it, man. Yeah, I in fact I once with a gal pal would play like a tabletop RPG without a table. We would just roll dice on the dashboard on road trips, and that's how we did it. Hell yeah, EverQuest. Hell yeah, I might be down for that. Oh, let's steer this away from the nerd shit because it's too easy, and I do a million nerd stuff. Let's at least upgrade to theater kid nerd stuff. I'd like to see us doing like some plays, like pure entertainment type things. Certainly, upgrading from that to band type people. I just think y'all, when we see Donald James is on, we should at the very least share the stream because there's nothing that's going to be better advertisement for progressive values than a chill dude just playing the guitar and occasionally being like, "Hey, don't be mean to trans folks." All right, so on and so forth. Yeah, of which I am the Grand Duke of nerds. I can't stress enough that I wrote a tabletop RPG from scratch and have played. I was in several EverQuest guilds, and the only reason I didn't LARP is because I was writing stories about people who do LARP. So yeah, we can do this, brother. I'd be down for an online band, 100%. Oh, hell yeah. I'm gonna play a sad song on my ukulele, aka every song. I'm gonna leave you at this, gang, because I really don't have any more what you can. I'm gonna tell you a genuine thing that happened to me in life. As a birthday gift, my family once, and I don't know whose birthday it was, but it was like the gift was a family activity that we were gonna do together, and that was ukulele lessons. And so we all got a ukulele, and we went to this place, and it was ukulele lesson. It was just one, and really, what they're doing is they're selling you a ukulele, but then they're showing you how to play it, and that's fun. And if you want to sign up for more lessons, you can. And we all sit down, and the guy, he's got a guitar on the wall, he's got a banjo on the wall, he's got a bass guitar on the wall, and he has several different types of ukulele on the wall. And he's devoted his whole life to playing string instruments. And he pulls out his strumming hand, and no fucking thumb. It's just a nub on there. Now you might think, boy, that's awful cruel to make fun of the guy who has a disability and has nonetheless overcome it to play. No, man, he didn't overcome it. He couldn't play. We took lessons from him. We had no fucking idea what he was trying to show us. He'd be like, go like this. He's just slapping the strings. And we did feel awful, and none of us mentioned it in the room, and we left. And it just now occurred to me in the telling of this story that if I lose my thumb ever, I am going to sign. I'm going to start giving guitar lessons to folks, and if they ever mention that what I'm playing is nonsense, and doesn't sound like anything, and that maybe I should, use a pick or something, I'm gonna go, oh. I swear to you, 100% true. 100% true. To this day, we talk about it. None of us know how to play the uke. Still got it. No, wait, I gave it to my buddy Dane. But anyway, it's still in the circle of friends. Doesn't matter if I have it, though, because I can't play it. That guy might have never been able to play. Or he lost his thumb in pursuit of the art. This has been WYCD, the Wicked that says what you can do. My name's Jake, and this is Donald James X.